If you are constantly tired, emotionally drained, mentally always on, it's probably not your schedule. It's your lack of boundaries. And not the loud, aggressive kind people that talk about online. I'm talking about the quiet boundaries that protects your peace without you having to become someone you're not.
Numb loud, numb loud. It's all I need, yeah, yeah. It's all I need, yeah, yeah.
See, for a very long time, I thought I just needed more discipline, more organized, more structured, more on top of things. But the truth is, I wasn't overwhelmed because I had too much to do. I was overwhelmed because I was carrying too much that wasn't mine. And once I understood that, everything started changing for me. So I would like to give 3 boundaries that you can start immediately today that would instantly protect your peace without making you cold, distant, or disconnected. Number 1, this is what I call time boundaries. I do not respond immediately. Right? So the first boundary is your time. And this one is simple but not easy. You do not need to respond immediately to nobody. Not to messages, not to requests, not to expectation. Because when you are always available, you train people to expect constant access to you. Now, I'm not talking about, being responsible person who communicates, who's responsible. That's not what I'm talking about. It's that constant giving people access to your time. And if you're honest, a lot of your stress don't come from requests itself. It comes from the urgency you place on responding to it. So this is what I started doing. I pause before I reply. I take time to think. I decide if and when I want to respond, and nothing falls apart. Of course, there are certain things that are urgent. However, the truth of the matter is, just because it's their urgency, it doesn't mean that it's yours. Because if, sometimes I've had people say, oh, I've called you like 100 times. What if, it was emergency and I was dying or whatever? And I'm like, you can call the police. You can call the ambulance. And it's not trying to be rude, but that's just a fact. Like, what was I going to do in that situation? Do you know what I mean? And so sometimes when people say stuff like that, they're not meaning it to be responsible with their language. They're just saying it for the sake of saying it so that can emotionally blackmail you. Or because of this or because of that. No, don't. Control that boundary. And number 2, this is what I call emotional boundary. Not everything deserves my internal reaction. This one is a really hard one. And this one changed everything for me, because I used to feel everything. Anything that comes along, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna take it on. Other people's mood, their stresses, their expectation, everything that had nothing to do with me, I was still carrying it internally. But I said, just because you notice something doesn't mean that you have to absorb it. Do you know what I mean? You see, not every comment deserves a reaction. Not every situation deserves your energy. Not every emotion around you is yours to carry. So now I ask myself, is this mine? And if it's not, I let it pass. Quietly, no announcement, no explanation, just release. Number 3, this is what I call access boundary. Everyone does not get the same version of me. And this is where a lot of people struggle, you see, because we've been taught that being a good person, being nice, not kind, being a nice person means being available to everyone, being kind, all these things. I must be available to everyone. That's not sustainable. Everyone doesn't get the same level of access to you. Not your time, not your energy, not your vulnerability. Access is something that should be earned through alignment and trust. It is not assumed because you are kind. This one was really, really hard for me, because being a capable person meant that everyone leaned on me. Everyone leans on you. And over time, I became used to it. But just because you carry more doesn't mean that you should. See, a lot of us are not exhausted because life is hard. We're exhausted because we never learn how to stop caring. We respond to quickly. We feel too much, we give too much access, and then we wonder why we feel completely drained. But peace doesn't come from doing less. It comes from carrying less of what was never yours. So if you take anything from it, start here. Pause before you respond. Question what you are carrying. Be intentional about who has access to you. And if this is something that you want to go deeper, I have created a free mind starter kit to help you actually practice this in your daily life. You can download it now, and if this resonated with you, stay connected because we are building something deeper here. Not just content, but a way of living.